Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the demo damsel herself, Sandy Reevy.
I'm knocking down walls.
It is episode 384, the week of December 1st. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we start off with Tuesday, December 2nd, Venus sextile Pluto.
Be discreet.
And Thursday, December 4th, full moon at 13 degrees of Gemini.
It's destined.
And Saturday, the 6th, Mercury trine Jupiter retrograde.
Now we have their help.
And Sunday the 7th, Mercury trine Saturn.
Oh, the ease of careful planning.
Then on the horizon, we have our Egypt retreat. And in our house, we have Thanksgiving prayers we'd like to share with you. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your stars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, demo damsel.
Yeah, I'm up on the hill in my tower new house. Well, haven't moved in yet, but oh my gosh, we took out the
Demoing like
kitchen. We were going to keep the kitchen, and then one thing led to another, led to entire thing being gutted.
Yep. Which I think will be great because those cabinets were from what? Would you say they were from like the
No,
50s?
the house was built in 1954, so it's 2 years older than me,
Right.
which
So
is getting kind of old and decrepit.
which those cabinets had their time. And now it's time for some upgrades, which the kitchen will be a really wonderful place because you have like an open layout now between the kitchen and the living room, and it's just going to be a really nice community space.
It was fun yesterday. My brother Greg, who did a lot of the demolition and, is the one that's heading all of this. He brought some firewood yesterday and we built a fire
Oh, that's so cool.
just to see
Well,
if the fireplace would draw, right?
oh,
Again, that
okay.
was going to be, is that another thing we have to fix? Because the
Right,
house has not been cared for the last 20 years at all.
right.
So between the new roof and new windows and new flooring and new plumbing and new electric and new walkways and
Right. Well,
um,
maybe we'll get a more of an update in our house when we get there, but we have a pretty short week just for transits, so let's get right
and
into
it
it.
actually, it's going to be, this whole month is a lot smoother or coasting than the last month, right?
Mm,
November was just full on, difficult, challenging, productive, but really needing to keep your head and foot to the pedal.
right. It felt very busy, especially even in the transits. You and I, those were some of our longest weeks to date.
In the seven
So,
or 8 years we've been doing this, yeah.
right. So, so yeah, we
Let's
have a
go.
refreshing short week for you all. So let's start off with Tuesday, December 2nd, aka tomorrow, Venus sextile Pluto.
Yeah, this I call be discreet. You know, Venus has just moved out of her not so favorite sign of Scorpio and moved boom into the high hills of Sagittarius. And it's a sextile to Pluto. So, not, Pluto wants to dive into the deepness of whatever possible secrets or internal feelings. But be discreet. Not everybody needs to know what you think about your relationship or what you think about their relationship. Don't talk about other people's relationships when they're not in the conversation, right? It's a
Yeah.
sextile, so it
Or
means,
if they don't start the conversation. Yeah.
I mean, it's a plus because it's a sextile, so it says opportunity, but really be discreet on what your opportunities are to share.
Hmm.
Right? Like you may feel like you need to share something that might be a bit secretive or, like a piece of secret slash gossip. just smile.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of somebody else's relationship.
Okay. And let's move on to December 4th, Thursday, full moon at 13 degrees of Gemini.
Right, so that means the moon is moved into the position at 13 Gemini because the sun is opposing at 13 of Sagittarius. Now, you already heard me say Gemini. What rules Gemini?
Mercury,
What? And then you said that you heard me say the sun is in Sagittarius. What rules Sagittarius?
Jupiter,
Okay, so when we want to look at the rulers of the sun and the moon, we're like, they're both averse this full moon. So they're not helping. So this is on
mm-hmm.
Thursday. So this is at 5:14 p.m. Chicago time. And I call it's destined because the only aspects that the sun and the moon make is a square to the nodes. So when the sun comes to the square of the nodes, and the nodes are at 13, the north node is at 13 of Pisces, actually sitting on my Mercury. And the south node is opposite that, and that's at 13 of Virgo. So if you think about 13, they're all at these mutable signs, right? 13 mutable, 13 mutable, 13 mutable, 13 mutable, which creates a grand cross. So they're all squares, two oppositions that cross over each other. It's called like an intersection, right? It would be called an intersection at a stop sign. And so here we have this. So I'm going to go over the nodes. What planet rules Pisces?
Neptune.
And what's the traditional?
Oh, Jupiter.
What's the planet that rules Virgo?
Mercury.
So we just heard Jupiter, Mercury rule the sun and the moon, and Jupiter and Mercury rule the nodes, right? That's why I call it's destined.
Right.
So we're halfway at the halfway point, just because the sun is there. We're at the halfway point of the eclipses. Halfway
I
point.
see. Okay.
And usually the sun will get there, right? Anytime we're at the halfway, because every 6 months we get a eclipse, and then every 6 months we get the sun making a halfway point to the eclipses, right? So it's kind of every 3-ish months we've got something that the sun is doing. But this time the moon is connected to it. Not all the time does the moon happen to be in the same area opposite the sun at the 13. So do you see how like wild this is? Right?
Yeah, and how it can really either bring up things or show us a very fortunate path, or like kind of like a fated path.
Because the two rulers are averse to this. And we got Mercury in Scorpio, and we've got Venus in Cancer. So we're going to find out that in 2 days' time, and we're not jumping there yet, but on Saturday, you're going to see that Mercury and Jupiter align in a very nice way. So let's go back, stay back here on Thursday, the full moon. Just these 2 days until Saturday. So Thursday evening, Friday to Saturday morning, you're going to let things flow. Just let them go. Because it's almost like we can't control them anyway, because there's a fatedness that will occur from the eclipse that we just had, right? 3 months ago. So again, very, very interesting full moon. Very interesting full moon. I should have called this my Astro Interesting Day, because this is kind of wild that we get both nodes, because the nodes are always opposite each other.
Of course, yeah.
Are the same rulers as the sun and moon opposition.
Hmm.
and they're nowhere for help. But on Saturday at 7:05, boom, now we have their help. So we can now go
So
into
Saturday,
Saturday.
December 6th, we have Mercury trine Jupiter retrograde. So here are those players again.
Yeah, now we have their help. Now they're in
I see.
contact. I had to really stress on that first Thursday on this full moon. It's like you and I are getting support in our families, in our nation, and even our world. This is a world, series, and this is the third of three passes that Mercury's making to the trining of Jupiter. And so they're in the trine, you can't have a better, easier, harmonious, fortunate aspect than a trine. So it just seems like Saturday, like the combination lock, right? It's like
Hmm.
don't try the combination lock on Thursday. This is another way to look at it. You don't have all the numbers,
Mm.
right? So just don't even try to open something because you'll use a hammer or drill or you'll get frustrated or you'll get upset. Just wait till Saturday when you have all the numbers, let's say, and you just go and it opens. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like to me.
Okay. And then we also have Sunday, December 7th, Mercury trine Saturn.
So here we heard Mercury trine Jupiter on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And then literally 24 plus 3 plus 4. What's 24 plus 4? 28.
Yeah.
28 hours later, which is quick, the Mercury makes a trine to Saturn. Because you know that
Hmm.
Jupiter and Saturn have been in trine to each other, although they're separating. Jupiter went retrograde, pulling away from Saturn, and Saturn stationed direct a couple days ago, and he's moving forward. So they're separating now. But this
Hmm.
is like the last link. What is that called? This is not the weakest link. This is the strongest link. I've
Okay.
been watching TV shows with my mom. Um, so this Mercury is creating a grand trine in the sky with Jupiter and Saturn, which is our superior planets, that sets up generational pull, generational
Hmm.
gravity. So again, Thursday looks like, okay, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Saturday, boom. Sunday, boom. And Sunday is like, oh, the ease of careful planning. Because when we look at Saturn stationing direct, anything that you have been doing literally for the last couple months, it's the final connection of three since October 24th. So, and you have to go back into your calendar probably and write, what was that anyway? What was I
Hmm.
doing around October 24th that now I laid up some careful plans and now it's a good thing I did because it's the ease, right? Things like you did it correctly. It flowed in
Right.
because we're talking about water, water. Mercury's in Scorpio. Saturn is in Pisces. So interesting that I'm calculating this for my life, right? Because duh, why not? I
Right.
do it for you. Um, for me, that period was my second U-Haul move, and I started my painting in this house, right? And so I'm thinking by the time I leave, and I leave Sunday, I
And
leave
you've
this
done a
Sunday,
lot of careful planning. I mean,
and I've got goals every day, and it's 12 hours, it's 14 hours a day over there, and my arm is, I look down to make sure it's still attached because it doesn't
jeez.
feel like it feels like it's missing because it's hurting.
You need to start
But
working on your left hand.
well, I have to use it. Depends where I am on the ladder. I still have to use my left hand sometimes, so it doesn't go so smoothly. But anyway,
Right.
do you see where it's like, oh, by Sunday, your plans should be like, you should give yourself an applause or a pat on the back if you can reach to your back with your hand,
Right.
and give yourself a pat.
Yeah.
It's a really nice week.
Great. This we needed like kind of like a short yet sweet week. So here it is. We're happy. Also, don't forget that you can follow along with these transits personally. One really wonderful way to do that is to book a reading with Sandy. Another way is to download your natal chart and try to do it DIY. You can also download the astrology guide as well. I'm going to have those links in the show notes for you. Um, and just here in Talisman Times, what I'm going to do is just congratulate all of the new Talisman owners. The talismans are going to be shipped to you this week. We had our big annual Black Friday sale, and wow, all of you showed up, and we are so excited to get these talismans out to you. So I will be in charge of that. So that is happening all this week. And on the horizon, don't forget, we have our Egypt retreat. That is September 13th through the 29th. If you do have any questions, feel free to email me, alex@intentionbeads.com, and I can let you know. Plans are still in process, so we are going to be having our retreat page up as soon as possible. And then in our house, last week we just had our Thanksgiving celebration with family, and we wanted to share a little prayer that I wrote.
Yeah, it was great. We had about 16 people. Mom and Mom, she did all the cooking, literally. We were just like her
Hmm.
hod carriers or her assistants.
Yeah.
She went shopping. She did all the cooking and three different gravies and multiple mashed potatoes that ended up all gone. The last person had to scrape the sides.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a beautiful, beautiful time. But we always like to have a prayer. And I don't know if you were assigned by me or you volunteered. I often throw you
I
places.
was definitely assigned, but happy to take it on.
And you wrote
Um,
this beautiful prayer you had everyone's attention, even the kids' attention.
yeah. So I'll share it here for you all on the podcast. As we gather here for another Thanksgiving together with many of us here in spirit, I've been thinking about how much this family means, not just in a once a year way, but in the steady, everyday way we all show up for one another. Each of us has lived our own year with wonderful highs and challenging lows, but somehow we always find our way back to this same table after all these years. Today gives us a precious moment to pause, to look around, and to see the people God has carefully woven into our lives. Our bonds aren't loud or flashy, but built, brick by brick, from the stories we remember, the support we give from near and far, and the love that sits humbly beneath everything we do. Let the faces you see and the faces we hold in our hearts today be reminders that no matter where life takes us, this family is a constant, a place we can always return to for laughter, patience, tradition, support, forgiveness, and love. May today bring peace, warmth, and the kind of love that stays with us long after the meal is over.
I, I,
Oh,
there,
don't cry.
there were tears flowing when you
Yeah.
really understand that. And when you said, look around at the faces, like you looked at the faces.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know who had a difficulty or who had highs or who had lows. And we may
Right.
not know who had highs or who had
Right.
lows,
Right.
right? But it's like, I'm here with you. We all gather around the same table year
Yeah.
after year,
Yeah.
which is why, Mom always has to do Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Mom, you have to do Thanksgiving all the time.
Yeah, it's a really special occasion, for our family in particular, and it's always been a really favorite holiday of yours, mainly for just the fact of giving thanks and being grateful for what we have, and um Yeah.
Ooh.
So anyway, it was a beautiful celebration, and giving thanks to all you listeners. Thank you so much for sticking with us these 7 years here on the podcast. It's been a really wonderful ride, and we hope to continue this. And if you have any questions, don't forget to reach out. We will talk to you all next week, everybody. Have a really wonderful week.
Bye, everyone. Happy December.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story